Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of All Outdoor. I'm your host Kevin, and today we're looking at starting a fire with these fire starters. And this is, a lot of people see these around, you see them on the internet, see them at Amazon, Walmart, various different places. But how effective are they at starting a fire, and what do you need to start a fire? And everybody, it's common knowledge that you need ignition point, fuel, oxygen fire for a fire. But the ignition point has to be in some type of relation or proportion to the fuel. You're not just going to walk over to a big oak tree and throw some sparks on it and catch on fire. It's just not the way it works. But all three components are there. You've got your fuel, your oxygen, your ignition point, right? Walk over to a big 100-year-old oak tree and just throw some sparks on it. It's supposed to catch on fire. It's not how it works, because the fuel has to be within a certain proportion to the ignition point. So what kind of fuel do we need to be able to use this type of ignition point to start a fire? That's what we're going to be looking at. We've got several different types of dried grass here. We've got some grass that I've had in my chicken house, and this has been in there for a month or so. Cut this with a tractor. And then we've got some lawnmower grass that I cut yesterday. We've got top of some grass that I picked today. This is nice and green, hasn't been dried. You got this little fine grass, stuff like that. Then we've got some more grass like this. Now for this size spark, you're going to have a very fine ignition, well, the ignition point, but the fuel is going to have to be very fine for that to work. So, and also I've got some dryer lint. Since dryer lint seems to be a popular thing, I rarely ever use dryer lint myself. I just use twigs and stuff, kind of a purist whenever it comes to starting a fire. Now a lot of times they say to take this stuff, take these fire starters, and now see this big string. Another thing is this big string, this is a shoelace. Is that if you take those little cords that come on these fire starters, take them off, put some 550 cord, then you've got yourself, this is shoelace material, then you've got yourself a spare shoelace on your fire starter kit. Alright, so a lot of times they show this stuff where you're up here like this and you're striking it down. I haven't had very much luck with that. What we're going to do is we're just going to do something like that. Put that right up against the fuel. There we go. And that's with dryer lint. So we've already shown that dryer lint will work. Let's take some of this hay. And this stuff needs to be real fine. If it's not real fine, then just take and kind of grind it up until it's just broke up real good. Remember, we need this stuff for that size spark. We need this thing, need the fuel to be very, very fine. What's that inside there? Piece of dirt. All right, we'll throw that out. Same thing as before. So we're going to put it right up underneath the fuel. Almost, guys. So, yeah, it looks easy on the videos, a lot of the videos out there. Looks easy, but it takes some time and it takes some practice, guys. It really does. Alright, I'll tell you what, guys. Let's cheat a little bit. I like to carry hand sanitizer as part of my first aid kit. Let's see how that works. Here we go. Next up, let's try the tops of this grass. It's very fine. It's almost like cotton. I just picked it today, so it's still kind of green. Here we go. Well, burned a little. Alright guys, let's give this another try with the grass. I've had decent luck with the grass. Here we go. Here we go. Then we use that to start our fire. Start putting your twigs and your tinder on and your grass, stuff like that. So what about pine straw? Guys, to be honest, I have not had very much luck getting pine straw as a good ignition point or to catch fire, because it has to be ground up so fine. I mean, it has to be ground up very, very fine. You just have to sit there and work with it. And I've just never had very much luck with pine straw. Over the years, the best luck that I've had has been with grass. You have some pine straw on the side. Just take that grass. You just got to grind it up real good, guys. Just sit there and break it up between your hands. Get it up real fine. Break it up some more, like that. Just keep grinding and grinding it until it's almost like a powder. So I was watching a show on TV, a survival show, where a couple of people were out in the woods and they were trying to get a fire started with one of these strikers. And they had twigs out there and they were striking and striking and striking and striking. They must have struck all night trying to get that fire built all night. Then finally the next day, I think they were able to get the fire built. So what the key to getting these fires built is to take your tinder, something like some grass, and just sit there and grind it up between your hands. Right? Grind it up with a rock, something. Just get it real fine. Think of dryer lint fine. Just think of dryer lint fine. That is how fine it needs to be. Grind it on some rocks, grind it between a couple of twigs, grind it up in your hands, something. You get a bunch of it so it's very finely ground. And then you'll be able to light it with those sparks off the ignition point. Or get yourself some hand sanitizer, squirt it on there and spark it like that. Well, guys and gals, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hopefully I've explained some stuff, helped y'all out. If you've had good luck with the fire starters, post some comments in the video. Anyway, guys and gals, I will talk to y'all later.